My name is Ezekiel Kuhoga. I am Tanzanian, and here I'm studying Masters in Economics. And much appreciation to Joensuu Debate Society for creating this opportunity where we can speak out what bothers us within, but still we can also have an opportunity to practice our speech. I will talk about how the median justification of people, roughly. I may not be able to go in smooth detail, but I hope you'll be able to understand. Well, I believe every nation or every culture or every society of people have got some history, which if some other people hears about that history, then you can get to understand those people, and that can lead to some understanding. To make you understand more what I want to talk about, I will tell a little bit of a story. Not a little bit, maybe a little. Yeah, somehow. Let's see. Back in the first millennium in Africa, iron was already discovered, and it served as one of the very important items in the business from different society, different communities, due to its application, very, very diverse applications. And in this time, in the first millennium and before, there used to be no formal education, but the training or education was given in the form that the youth has to go to the elders who are expert in a particular maybe profession, maybe ironsmith or salt making or cloth making and stuff like that. But unfortunately, now according to the history that I know from Tanzanian perspective, the arrival of Europeans marked the death to such professions and skills, and also marked the death of their transitions from generation to generation. Why am I saying so? According to history, for example, in Tanzania, the Germans, they came there and colonized the place, and I can say they were not that much kind to the indigenous people. What they did, first of all, they had to slaughter all the people who had such professions in different places, and anybody else who maybe continued to learn or to teach the young or to do anything related to industrial training, then they would slaughter the hands of in public and hang them in public, so that to put it as a threat or warning for others not to do that thing. Even after schools were established, the indigenous people could only afford their language training so that maybe they can help to bridge the communication between the colonial masters and the indigenous people. So the industrial and other skillful trainings were only left for colonial masters and their families and their societies who lived there. Now, since the invasion, and the invasion started around 1400 years, and most of the countries in Africa, they got their freedoms in 1950s or 60s. So we can see the difference of around 500 years, these countries living under such subjugation. But soon after independence, many other parts of the world, many other people could now quickly come forward and start to compare, maybe for example, African youth or African people with European, I can say maybe British, and compare maybe the technology, like why are they not so much advanced in technology like us, or why are they so ignorant and stuff like that. Omitting the part of the history, like why did they reach in such a level? Why is there a difference? So for my case, well, I don't blame anyone for having such thoughts, because in today's generation, almost nobody knows the history behind. We all know about the present, and we justify according to what we know up to the moment. Like, yeah. It troubles me to see someone intentionally omit or hide some important information just to bring out misunderstanding between people and hence incomplete justifications. When someone claims to speak for a particular family or particular society, she or he must speak for the whole society without focusing on someone, unless she or must specify like you are speaking for someone. So here I'm talking about this media, for example, press. When we say BBC or CNN, we know from the broad view that they are speaking for the world. If the essay is coming from BBC, then it's coming from the world, and it's coming for the world, for everybody to speak. But if it happens, this media tend to bias to speak only about maybe USA and not to speak about Africa, then that's naturally becomes unfair. For instance, I've been watching some videos in Facebook. Those videos, I don't know, maybe I've not been lucky to see them from CNN or any other press. But those videos, I saw some little girls from Iran. They were running, they were crying in the videos, saying that they are running out of food, they're running out of water, and they were living under the in the caves, and they were afraid to come on top to look for water because they're afraid to be bombed. But if you go to the media, all the time you would see everybody is talking about the Trump, how he's maybe holding the hands of other people, how he's treating, how he's doing this and this, the stuff which really don't matter. While at the same time, there are lives of people at stake. Such families, for example, those children under such environment may end up poor, uneducated, and this is because they don't have time to go to school. They don't have time to eat well, or they don't even have access to food. So we may end up calling them in the end by what they are in that moment, instead of acting what is right in the moment, and later on we can just end up justifying them for who they are truly not. We are now in the moment, not just you can travel. We are in the moment, for example, if I want now to make the world understand, I cannot just go out and start to talk to everybody, but the media has that power. If they say something, then everybody can access that information and understand. Now, concluding my speech, I wish that the media learns how to value life and not just the favor of some people, so that if they give the proper informations, if they give the important informations about every culture, about every society from the beginning, then we have a chance to understand one another. And if we understand one another, we won't end up justifying us in the wrong way. We'll justify each other in a way that can be fair to one another. Thank you. That's all.